Guys, today I want to talk about probably hands down my favorite subject, and that has to be junk silver. So today I'm going to go over, tricks into finding junk silver, tips into getting the most out of your buys when looking to get junk silver, and help you guys calculate just how many ounces you guys own when you're buying this. So let's get into the video. But there's a couple things I want to go over before we get into the video, and that is in no way am I trying to get you to like and subscribe to my channel. But on the other hand, if you have an unhealthy addiction to gold, silver, and numismatics like I do, you're in the right place. And as viewers, you don't get the recognition that you deserve. So I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my content. It helps me out tremendously. With all that being said, let's roll it. So junk silver or constitutional silver, they're both the same thing. People like to call it junk silver because it's only 90%. Are dollars, half dollars, quarters, dimes, nickels, minted 1964 or older. And guys, for the sake of video, I'm just going to talk about 90% silver. I know there are other junk silver options out there, like your war nickels, which were minted from 1942 to 45. Those were 35% silver. And then your Kennedy half dollars, which were from 1965 to 1970 and were 40% silver. I'm not a fan of those. I don't think they're worth buying or stacking, so I'm going to leave them out of this video. But if you guys really want to hear about it, I do have a few that I can do a video for you guys on. And stay through with this whole video. Some of these tips and tricks will not only just save you time, but it's going to get you the most out of your money when buying junk silver. And you'd be surprised at how much it's going to save you. So we're going to go over the most popular coins to stack. You have your, start from the smallest denomination. You have your Roosevelt dimes. Looks just like today's dimes. They're just 90% silver. Your Mercury dimes. For your Mercury dime, your Barber dime. We have your Washington quarter. Then we have your Standing Liberty quarter. We have your half dollar options, which from newest to oldest is going to be your Kennedys. Then to your Franklin half dollars. Then to a fan favorite, the Walking Liberty. And then we have your higher end junk silver, which is going to be your Morgan dollars and your peace dollars. Now, your Morgans and your peace dollars are kind of on the verge of that numismatic value. When I say numismatic value, I mean that they're kind of on their own separate trajectory when, the spot of silver is out there. So it kind of steps away from these other options of your dimes, quarters, and half dollars, where you're going to be paying $35, $40 for your peace dollars and your Morgan dollars. And the reason I absolutely love junk silver is not only did it get me into more junk silver, but it got me into numismatics as a whole. I wanted to know what became for the Roosevelt dime. Then I wanted to know what came before the Mercury dime, then the Barber dime, then the Seat of Liberty dime, then the Cap Bust dime, dating all the way back to 1792. And I'll give you an example where junk silver is no longer valued just for its weight. You have your Morgan and peace dollar right here. Like I said, common dates will go for $35 to $40. But then you have something like this, which is an 1872 seated Liberty dollar. Now, this is still 90% silver, not in the best condition, but this is worth hundreds of dollars. So there's several examples of that, and I won't go too far back into it because numismatics is my true love, and that can be a whole separate video in itself. So those are your most popular categories right there. And a lot of people that either start out buying junk silver or that have even owned junk silver for a long time have a difficult time understanding how much exactly they own in troy ounces when they're talking about their junk silver, their constitutional coins. So I'm going to show you guys a trick, and I want you to remember $1.40. So $1.40. That is the combined value that you can make all this junk silver into that will give you 1 troy ounce. So let me show you here. So let's say we took 4 quarters and then we took 4 dimes. That is $1.40 right there. That gives you 1 troy ounce. So let's do it a different way. Let's do 2 half dollars, 4 dimes, $1.40, 1 troy ounce. I'm not going to count this out, but you can take 14 dimes, 1 troy ounce, a peace dollar, 4 dimes, 1 troy ounce. You can do a lot of combinations, but you guys get the point. So that's how you're going to find, that's the easiest and best way to find 1 troy ounce when you're talking about your junk silver. But when buying this, you'll probably be in an online forum, or you go to a local coin shop, or you're shopping on eBay or a bullion dealer, and you'll hear people say a number times of face value when in regards to buying or selling junk silver. Now, what does that mean? So for simplicity reasons, we're just going to use dimes for this subject right here. So when someone says, let's say 20 times face value, that's what they are selling their junk silver for. They are saying that they are taking the face value of a dime, so like this dime right here, 10 cents, they are multiplying it by 20, and that will give you $2. So they are selling their junk silver dime for $2. Let's do it for a quarter. 20 times face value of a quarter, $5. 20 times face value of a half dollar, $10. Now remember, I said that your mortgage and peace dollars are kind of on that verge of numismatic value. They're on their own trajectory. You're not going to see a Morgan or a peace dollar for $20 unless they're in really rough condition, being cleaned or polished. But don't get me wrong, I stack tubes of these. I love these things, and so do many, many other stackers. So that's not me trying to deter you from the dollar right there. So we've gone over how to find a troy ounce. We've gone over what people say when they're saying 20 times face value. And when spot goes down, times face value can change. So if someone says 16 times face value, that's $1.60 for a dime. So now I'm going to teach you how to find how much you're paying per troy ounce of your silver. So we know how to find a troy ounce and multiplying times your face value. So we'll stick to the 20 times face. So let's say you want 1 troy ounce in dimes. Well, we know that $1.40 is 1 troy ounce, and they're selling it times 20 times face. So that's $2 a dime. 14 dimes times $2 is going to be $28. So you're going to be spending $28 on 1 troy ounce when you're talking about your junk silver. That's the easiest way I could find it. Now, be careful when stacking junk silver. In my opinion, you can never go wrong. But just so you know, the further you go back, the more wear on a coin you'll see. So let me give you some examples here. This dime is in great condition. You know, as a Roosevelt dime, it's going to be hard to find a Roosevelt dime in poor condition. Now let's go to the Mercury dime, which came before the Roosevelt. See how it's really starting to wear down? That one looks like absolute junk though. Okay, so you're starting to lose some detail on both sides. And before the Mercury dime was the Barber dime. And I can't tell you how thin this thing is. It's ridiculous. So there's one example, you know, you have your Washington quarters, great detail right here. And then before your Washington quarter was your Standing Liberty quarter. See the lack of detail? It's just wearing super thin. All that time in people's pockets being exchanged. Now, I took a picture before making this video, and I'm pretty new at editing, so I'm gonna feel really stupid if this doesn't pop up. But this is probably gonna be the best example I can show you as to just how much wear over time these things can take. So in this picture, I have your Kennedys all the way on the right, then your Franklins in the center, and then your Walking Liberties on the left. Can you guys, so there is 20 coins in each row right here. We have 20 Kennedys, 20 Franklins, and 20 Walking half dollars. You see that wear difference right there, going from your Kennedys, and the older you get, how to stack. Now, you know, it looks like you're missing probably, you know, a coin and a half, and these Walking Liberties aren't in horrible condition either. They still have some detail, but they have still all been worn down pretty decently over time. Now, you're not missing like a half ounce of silver, you know, being maybe a coin and a half, maybe a couple grams of silver, but that adds up over time. And so if you want the most out of your silver, your Kennedys and Franklins are going to be the way to go. I still stack Walking Liberties. I think they're beautiful. They're one of the most unique coins out there, and that is not going to stop me. So that's a huge thing to look out for if you're on a budget, you want to get the most out of your dollar. And you'll probably see people like going through bankrolls. And when I was hunting junk silver down, when I started buying this stuff and looking for it in my own change, I asked family members for their change, and I went through my own change, my wife's change, just looking for junk silver. And I wasted a lot of time hunting for junk. Not that it's a waste of time, but how I was looking for it was a waste of time. I would just go through and I would sit there through every single coin and go through dates. And I can tell you, after looking through hundreds of coins, that takes quite a bit of time. So I'm going to show you guys a trick how to spot out junk silver from the rest of your up to present day coins. So as you can see right here, I have a group of modern quarters and then one silver quarter in there. So if you have a ton of quarters and you're looking for junk silver, and this is the same with dimes, half dollars, put them all in a roll, turn them on a side, and you'll find that one piece of silver in the center. That's your silver quarter right there. So we'll move it over, show another example so it's not in the center. Still super obvious that it's just right there over to the side, even when it's at the end of the roll. And that helped me tremendously and saved me a lot of time when hunting this down. So I hope you guys took away some key points from this. It's very important to remember that, the further you go back, the less silver you're going to gather. But the great thing about junk silver is that it's a treasure hunt. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, now you have these mercury dimes, all common dates, $2. But man, you can do some great hunts, and you can even find, key date dimes. This is a semi-key date right here at 1921D, hundreds of dollars. But if you find a 1916D, it could be in horrible condition, absolutely awful condition. I'm talking like the wear of a barber dime, and it is still going to cost hundreds of dollars. And that's the same thing for the Washington quarters. They have key dates, semi-key dates. So I know these LCSs, they say that they don't pick through their junk silver. They do, but I still like to go buy bags, and I'll go through and just look at for dates. And it's just exciting. I don't know what I'm going to get, opposed if I go buy some bullion out there and I'm like, okay, sweet, I got some silver eagles. No need to look through it. Nope. I can go to an LCS, get my junk silver, handle it with no gloves because it's already circulated. They're not making this stuff anymore. It's backed by the government. It's got a legal tender on there. There's key dates, semi-key dates that people will pay stupid amounts of money for. And on and on and on. And it's something I really advise for new buyers. Like I was saying, you're going to want to stick to your Kennedy half dollars, your Washington quarters. But if you ever get bored of just stacking just straight up bullion, junk silver is the way to go. It's the bread and butter of many people's stacks out there. And I hate using this word with silver, but it's also a great investment, and it's a great hedge against inflation. Some of you may have heard the most common story when it comes to the Washington quarter, and that is in the 1960s, a quarter could get you around a gallon of gas. Well, guess what? This same quarter, I take this to a local coin shop, I get $5. It can still buy me a gallon of gas. That's a hedge against inflation if I've ever heard one. So I hope you guys took something from this video. If you guys have something to add or you have any questions, just make sure to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. That sounded straight up like a voicemail. I'll see you in the next video.